line. Liz Carmouche, the third-ranked contender, is 4 years older at 35. 1 inch taller, standing 5 feet 6 inches tall. Just a slight half-inch reach advantage for the champion. One more time, setting the table for us. Here's Joe Martinez.
En vivo a todo mundo del Antel Arena, Montevideo, Uruguay. Damas y caballeros, esta es la pelea estelar de la noche. 5 asaltos por el título UFC Peso Mosca. And here we go, ladies and gentlemen, the main event of the evening. 5 rounds scheduled this for the UFC Flyweight Championship of the World. Sanctioned by the Brazilian MMA Athletic Commission, the President, Cristiano Sampaio. Los tres jueces por ese combate, the 3 judges scoring at octagon side, Guilherme Bravo, Eric Colon, and Tony Weeks. And when the action begins inside the octagon, your referee in charge, encargado el referee, Keith Peterson. Y ahora, damas y caballeros, los jueces están listos, los peleadores están listos, uruguayos, dile al mundo, make some noise if you Introducing you first, fighting out of the blue corner. Her background is Valentino. At 5 feet 6 inches tall, she weighed officially 125 pounds. In 19 professional fights, her record, 13 victories and 6 defeats. Here is the challenger fighting out of San Diego, California, USA. The number 3 rated flyweight contender in the world, Liz Gorilla. And across the octagon, her opponent fighting out of the red corner, a Muay Thai fighter standing 5 feet 5 inches tall. She weighed in officially 124 and 1/2 pounds, and in 20 professional fights has an outstanding record, 17 victories and 3 defeats. Fighting out of Bishkek, Kyrgyzstan, she is the reigning, defending UFC flyweight champion of the world, Valentina Shevchenko.
Both of you have received your instructions. Touch gloves if you like. Let's fight.
Oh, no nonsense indeed, as Keith Peterson gets ready for his second main event in as many weeks. Liz Carmouche telling us, Michael, that she is a night and day different fighter from the last time she fought Valentina Shevchenko 9 years ago, and she says that Valentina has not evolved as a fighter.
Ma'am, are you ready?
Yeah, that's right, she did. I'm not sure if I agree with
It's
that.
time to put that to the test, isn't it?
Carmouche said that she's evolved, she's day and night, she's got way better. But as you just said, Shevchenko hasn't evolved, to be honest. I don't think she needs to.
Underway here for the UFC Women's Flyweight Championship of the World. Carmouche is a plus 700, 7-1 underdog in the gray. Valentina Shevchenko minus 1100 as the huge favorite in the black.
And this is a moment for Carmouche now to validate her entire career. All those hours in the gym, all the sacrifices, riding a bike, being broke, living off frozen noodles. If she can pull this off tonight, it makes it all worthwhile. Of course, it's not going to be easy, but as I said before, Shevchenko is a human being, and it only takes one good shot to turn the tide.
We'll see what the game plan is. Carmouche kind of saying she can go anywhere with the fight. Didn't want to picture how the fight would play out. Just picture her hands raised at the end of the night.
If you see Shevchenko, what she doesn't utilize a lot of footwork, that's because of the Thai boxing. Thai boxers stand there, and they don't dance around the place. What Shevchenko's doing, she's letting Carmouche come in, and then she looks to counter like she did a moment ago. She timed it perfectly. Carmouche threw a couple of lazy shots. Shevchenko came back with 2 or 3 missiles.
Low kick there for Shevchenko. For Carmouche, she heard rumors that a title fight was possible. Didn't think that it would come to fruition this quickly, and was scheduled to fight in San Antonio a few weeks back, but started training for a 5-round fight just in case. So she feels more than prepared.
And the thing is, you can hear the silence in the arena because they are waiting, because they know if Shevchenko explodes, we could see something incredible. So the anticipation, you can feel it in the air.
Push it there for Carmouche, who has stayed at distance and backed off 2 minutes into this fight. 5 possible rounds here for the belts.
CARMOUCHE doing a lot of conditioning for this fight. She says she's stronger than ever. She always trains for 5 rounds. Done a lot of sprints, took the strength and conditioning to the next level. As I said earlier, brought in a variety of good sparring partners, lots of southpaws. Very happy with the way her camp's gone. She looks in incredible shape.
San Diego Combat Academy, where she trains and teaches, part owner there as well. So kind of a new wrinkle in her career of owning, operating a gym, and also being a fighter, but telling me a couple of years ago that she's kind of figured that out after needing some time off. She's fought her way to 4 of 5 wins in the UFC and route to a title shot. Body kick there from CARMOUCHE.
You know, the hard thing for Valentina is because, you know, she's so heavily favored. She's the champion. You know, some people, they can let that go to the head and then they step off the gas a little bit in the training camp. They start to feel their own hype. Of course, I'm not saying she's done that. I'm just saying, but that is the temptation and the problem with being the champion and being so well respected. You know, but she's a lifelong martial artist and she loves this, you know. And she doesn't talk trash. She's just matter of fact in the way she talks because she truly believes in herself and for obviously very, very good reason. But she's so matter of fact about everything she does, from the way she talks, the way she describes her training, her skills, her opponents, and just basically anything in life. It's very refreshing to see.
Well, you mentioned it, lifelong martial artist. She began Taekwondo when she was 5 years old. Her mother, Elena, is the president of the Muay Thai Federation in her native Kyrgyzstan. As a flurry in the center of the octagon. Kickboxing at 12. She knocked out a 22-year-old opponent. That kind of put her on the map a little bit, and then made her mixed martial arts debut at 15 years old. Here she is at 31, a UFC flyweight champion, and looking to defend. Final minute of the first round.
Yeah, we're still in the first round, but, you know, CARMOUCHE is doing okay. She's not being outclassed. She's going in and out. She hasn't landed anything particularly significant, but she hasn't taken any significant shots either. She's doing a good job. As I say, the in and out movement is key, but when you move out, you know, you can't land your own shot, so it is a defensive style. But as I say, so far, so good.
Patient and knowing that they have 5 rounds to work, so they won't rush into anything. Final 10 seconds here, this first round. Each finding the range. Second round is straight ahead.
Who's there?
Sandy!
Sandy who?
Sandwich with barbecue pulled pork.
No joke. Subway now delivers. Try the barbecue pulled pork sandwich.
This program contains scenes of violence that may be disturbing to some viewers. Discretion is advised.
Welcome back, listening in to the corner of Liz CARMOUCHE.
Perfect. That was perfect movement. She missed it. She kept missing.
Don't let her touch you off the cage.
Just hit that, keep her off the rim.
When she gets to the cage,
Well, coming up next, don't miss a recap of all the action from Uruguay on the UFC Fight Night post-show right here on ESPN+. John Good, Dan Hardy, Heidi Andral will break it all down along with some of tonight's big winners. It's all coming your way right here on ESPN+. Well, thoughts on the first 5 minutes, Michael? What did you think?
Yeah, well, CARMOUCHE's corner was just saying that the movement is perfect, in and out. You didn't take any shots. And that's correct. It is true. But, you know, the idea isn't to be defensive in there. You know, you're trying to win the fight. Right, as I say, that Shevchenko lands a jab. You know, in and out movement's good. Being defensive is great, but you've got to land shots to win a fight. Now, she has landed a few shots here and there. I'm not berating her her performance, you know, but she's got to push forward a little bit. Shevchenko's controlling the center of the octagon, and she's just taking her time. She's the champ, you know. She's defending her belt. There's a lot of pressure with that, you know. There's no rush. She's got 5 rounds to do it, you know. But if CARMOUCHE keeps doing this, you know, you never know.
Front kick there for Shevchenko, who won the belt, as we mentioned, against Ioana and Jacek, went the full 5 minutes, and Shevchenko using her counter-striking style in that fight up in Toronto. Kind of content, seemingly, to let CARMOUCHE go first and look for the openings through the first 6 minutes or so.
Yeah, as I was saying before, movement's well and good, but you need more output. You know, you've got to be offensive. I mean, defensively, she's fighting great. The footwork's awesome. She is. She's getting in and out. She's dancing around the center of the octagon. But as we heard in the first round, the crowd was starting to get a little frustrated, you know. But, you know, it's easy for me sitting here saying, go in there when you've got a killer like Shevchenko unleashing right in front of you. It's not that easy. But this is what we signed up to do.
Well, as we showed, or as she showed 2 months ago, don't blink your eyes, don't look away, because she can end it quickly, as she did in Chicago. First takedown attempt there for CARMOUCHE.
Defended perfectly.
The first fight between these two came back in 2010. It was in rural Oklahoma, about 2 hours away from the airport that they landed at. It was on an Indian reservation. CARMOUCHE saying, like, the silo that we warmed up in, you backed against the wall, the ceiling kind of came down.
Yeah, welcome to low-level MMA, trust me.
I mean, and, you know, the women were 3 years away still from fighting in the UFC, so these two were at it several years before the masses were introduced to the sport on the women's side of things. And Valentina believes that she was dominating that fight.
Yeah.
Got caught with an up kick from CARMOUCHE, and it was actually a doctor's stoppage towards the end of the second round. Huge cut opened up above the left eye of Shevchenko, and the scar is still there. You can still kind of see the damage from 9 years ago when Liz CARMOUCHE gave her first professional defeat.
And as a man who's taken a few scars on my face, I can tell you, if the scar is still there after 9 years, that means it was a bad cut, you know, because the human body heals up after a while and the scar diminishes, and if you look really, really closely, you might see a little bit. But for it still to be there and so, you know, obvious after 9 years, that must have been a bad cut.
But of course, each fighter with 9 years of training with the UFC.
Yeah, you know, I mean, listen,
welcoming women into the fray as well, it's a whole different ballgame.
You know, CARMOUCHE, I mean, I get it. She's fighting a very, very tough opponent here, but she's going to have to, you know, for want of a better description, sacrifice herself a little bit. You've got to get on the inside. She's constantly out of range. She steps in, she throws shots, but she's just out of range. She's a little too short, and she's hitting fresh air. You know, I mean, she just needs to be a little bit closer. The problem is, when you do that, you might walk onto the end of something. But, you know, you've got to do something.
Blitz forward, then a body kick there from CARMOUCHE. Coming up on a minute to go. Second of 5 possible rounds with the UFC flyweight title on the line.
Yeah, you got to think the path to victory for CARMOUCHE would be to take her down. She's a black belt, 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu under Eddie Bravo. You know, get her down on the floor, and she's very, very physically strong as well. We've seen it in the past. Once she gets her hands on opponents, she can ragdoll them. And of course, the skills on the floor as well. Now, Shevchenko's no joke on the ground either, but still, for my money, that would be their best path to victory.
Last submission win for Shevchenko came in a main event in January 2017 against Juliana Pena.
Oh, nice spinning back this there.
Round as things start getting loose here.
Yeah, that connected, then she followed it up.
Leads with a kick again. Final seconds of the second round. Third round is straight ahead.
Here's our water, Liz.
Slow, deep breath, Liz.
Dude, you're good. You're following the game plan perfectly. Just let's be a little bit more active on this next round.
Every time she's tracking you, she's there for the look. You wouldn't take that. A little bit more penetration on the takedown. I agree with that. More distance. Когда надо, ногой можешь добавить, да, но смотри, чтобы нога не была захвачена, понятно, да? То есть ты должна вот это все. Не ведись ни на чего это, ясно, да? Тут следи внимательно за ситуацией, понятно, да? Это очень важно.
Set for the third of 5 possible rounds here for the UFC flyweight title. Liz CARMOUCHE, Valentina Shevchenko. Well, CARMOUCHE is going to need to find a way to close that distance.
Emma, you ready? Emma, you ready? Fight.
As we get underway here for the third round.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Brendan. You've got to try and find a way to close the distance. You know, I mean, listen, this is a big deal for CARMOUCHE, you know. Probably the last time she'll ever fight for a title. I mean, she's had 2 opportunities. Of course, first one didn't go away. And, you know, I think it's fair to say she's probably coming towards the end of her career. She's 35 years old. I'm not basing that on performance or anything like that, but, you know, Father Time catches up with everybody eventually. So she's you know, playing the long game, which is totally perfectly understandable, you know, because it takes 2 to tango as well. You know, on the flip side, Shevchenko's controlling for the most part the center of the octagon and letting CARMOUCHE come to her. But again, there's a lot of pressure for Shevchenko. You know, she's one of the best in the world now. She's got a massive target on her back. You know, she's the champion, and with being the champion, that brings a lot of perks. It brings a lot of money, a lot of fame, and a lot of doors open for you. You know, people want to do business with champions of the world, especially the super recognizable, talented one like Valentina Shevchenko. So there's tremendous pressure on you when you are a champion.
Well, she's used to the feeling, as she said earlier this week. They asked her about the pressure of being the champion, being kind of everyone coming for you, and you know, not everyone deals with that in the same way, but she's been a champion her whole life, 17-time World Muay Thai and K1 champion.
And that's great, but that's not the UFC champion.
No, but she just feels comfortable when she's at the top.
Oh no, and rightly so. She looks very comfortable at the top as well.
Not easily shaken.
That was a heavy leg kick. She threw one earlier as well that was very heavy as well.
Low kick's really the only kind of strike that's been able to land for Liz CARMOUCHE. Shevchenko offers a 1-2. Crowd getting restless, waiting for the next big shot. Shevchenko steps in.
Shevchenko's trying to corral her up against the fence, give her nowhere to go. She needs to do that, but then cut the cage off. CARMOUCHE is kind of escaping to the left and the right. Shevchenko needs to back her up, then move left or right. Mirror whichever way CARMOUCHE goes. Cut off the exit route so she's got nowhere to go. Back her up against the fence and then, you know, use all of her tools. No, but credit to CARMOUCHE, you know, the footwork is great, you know, because Shevchenko knows that, what I just said. Of course she does. She's a world champion. She knows that's the plan. Wow!
Combination from Shevchenko sits down CARMOUCHE.
And that's the problem when you're facing somebody like that. One shot, put her right down.
Well, if CARMOUCHE wanted to get things down to the ground, she only attempted one takedown through the early going. It was shrugged off easily. We'll see if Shevchenko wants to go to the ground now.
Well, anytime I speak to a wrestler, I always tell him, best takedown in the game, left hook. Or in this case, a left straight. Well, that was nice. That was piston-like.
So biggest moment of the fight so far goes to Shevchenko with the knockdown. Now they clinch up in the center.
Yeah, this is the first time they've ever properly clinched like this. Now, CARMOUCHE is very, very strong, but look at this. Look at that! Combination of power and technique.
Uses the body lock and scores the takedown. Shevchenko will go to work with 1 minute to go in the third.
Yeah, so CARMOUCHE is a black belt 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu, which is it's a unique style, and they like to be on their back. They have tremendous guard work, lots and lots of, unusual attacks. It's a very awkward system to defend yourself against. I hate anytime anyone was a 10th Planet black belt, they were a nightmare to roll with. So, this is a good position for CARMOUCHE. You should be used to this, and spent many, many hours in this position in the gym. So let's see what she can do.
We'll see if Shevchenko mounts any offense with time running out of the third round here. Coming up on 20 seconds to go as she fires some body strikes. Also the knockdown and the takedown in the third round.
And there's the first beginning of a setup to something, but she let it go. She was trying to attempt what they call mission control, which is like the start of setting up submissions or sweeps.
Time runs out on the third round. We will keep it here and listen into the corners as we head to the championship rounds.
Here's our water.
The ground was good. The overhook was protecting you. That's the perfect thing to do right there. And you were striking, but that was beautiful. That was beautiful on the ground. Sweep. Look for your sweep with that overhook. You could also get hit from there. Other than that,
Чувствует. Наказывай вовремя, четко переигрывай. Она будет рисковать, она сейчас будет идти на риски, ясно, да? Четко, четко слушай, что нужно делать. Саму себя слушай, понятно?
Just listen to yourself and you know what to do.
All right, let's take a look. Here we come. Shevchenko pushes forward. A 1-2. The left hand drops her. And then she gets the double underhooks here. Spins her around there and slams her down. Straight into a position of control.
ma'am, are you ready? Ma'am, are you ready? Fight.
Well, how about the trust of the coach, Pavel Fedotov?
Yeah.
In the corner, just listen to yourself.
I liked it. In fact, I loved it, because a lot of the time, and I mean this respectfully, a lot of coaches, they want to be heard. They like the sound of their own voice. Or, maybe they're on an ego trip. I'm the coach, listen to me. It's like, listen, she's the champion of the world. She's one of the very, very best that we've ever seen. It's like, she knows what to do. So don't tell her basics. Don't give her little pinpointers just so you're heard on TV. Just say, you know what, you've got this. I believe in you. You're my student. I see what you're capable of. Just feel it. Go out there and feel the fight and react.
Well, Shevchenko started to find her range and timing. Liz CARMOUCHE did not in that third round, did not land a single significant strike in those 5 minutes. Now back to action here. And you got to expect a little more urgency in the final 10 minutes if it goes that far for Liz CARMOUCHE.
Oh, look at this. So that's what she's capable of. When she turns it on and goes for it, jumps in, Superman punch, 1-2, leg kick. Nice.
CARMOUCHE trying to return the favor, unable to do so. Of course, Valentina's sister, Antonina, is also in this flyweight division. Stumble there as CARMOUCHE shot for a takedown.
Straight back into the position they were before.
As they work right in front of us, CARMOUCHE from her back once again. Well, pick a side. What's the game plan here, Michael?
Yeah, well, if you're CARMOUCHE, she's trying to grab that foot with one hand, her right foot that she's using to kick there. She's trying to pull it up, as I said, they call that mission control. You can use that to set up a variety of things. Try and pull it past the head, get an omoplata. You can use that to escape. There's sweeps you can set up, there's submissions, you can advance through other positions. They have funky names in 10th Planet, like crackhead control and all kinds of stuff. They have a fun names for their system, but it's very, very effective. And she's trying here to set something up. But Shevchenko would have prepared for this. Anytime, like when I was training, and I knew somebody had this style, you spend a lot of time learning how to counter it. So Shevchenko, she's doing the right thing. You've got to keep your base low and push your head forward. Which is exactly what she's doing.
Yeah.
Sorry, Brendan.
Go ahead.
No, you're good.
So Shevchenko continues her top control. Just over 2 minutes to go.
Now, if Shevchenko exploded with that left leg right now, there's a possibility that she could pass the guard, progress to... There it is. Oh, almost. CARMOUCHE did a good job of getting at least one butterfly hook back.
Keep working. Now into full guard. Keith Peterson asking the fighters to keep working on the ground.
Great, stand up.
And there is the step in to return him to the center. Coming up on 90 seconds to go, fourth round. Significant strikes heavily in the favor of the champion. We'll see what Liz CARMOUCHE has to offer over the final 6+ minutes of this fight.
Yeah, if you're Liz, it's no secret. You got to try something different. She's got 6 minutes left. Whoa!
Back fist drops CARMOUCHE.
But that's the problem. That is the issue. It's easy for me, as I said before, to sit here saying that, but then that's what you're walking into. So for everybody in the crowd that's booing, listen, I get it. They want to see a fight, but when you're in there and every time you walk forward, you nearly get your head taken off, you're not so inclined to keep pushing forward.
Yeah. She pushed forward and found herself on the bottom once again. And now Valentina will try to slide that left arm out. As CARMOUCHE keeping a firm hold of it. Swings over to the back.
She's going to flatten her out. Oh no, she's going to try and get the hooks in. Yeah, there we go. Flatten her out. Full side control. 20 seconds left.
And don't just think she's a striker. She is very strong as well as the champion.
That was a beautiful job of reclaiming half guard there and getting the full lockdown. Another one of the Eddie Bravo classic positions, but it was great. Very, very technically done.
So the strength and the striking on display once again in that fourth round. And we have 5 maximum minutes left.
Валя, сейчас она будет делать все возможное и невозможное.
She's gonna start doing everything possible and impossible.
Смотри, в какой момент что делать, понятно, да?
Just catch her at the right moment.
Ты ее хорошо перебиваешь, ты ей не даешь, но она сейчас будет рисковать.
You're winning every exchange all the time, but she's gonna risk right now.
Поэтому смотри, когда куда заходить, понятно, да?
Just watch.
Не надо, да? Лучше переиграет в нужный момент.
Just outplay her, catch her at the right time.
I believe you can finish this fight, Liz. Liz, I believe you can finish this fight.
Go,
Finish
girl.
this.
Championship round.
Finish her. Let's go, baby. You got this. You got this, Liz.
Well, just about set here for the 5th and final round. Liz CARMOUCHE with the chance to pull the upset, but it has been all Valentina Shevchenko through 20 minutes, Michael. And now we are underway in the 5th and final rounds.
Yeah, in the corner of CARMOUCHE, they're saying, listen, I know you can finish this fight. And they're right, it is possible. And then CARMOUCHE should take, a lot of solace in the fact she's here in the 5th round, and she hasn't taken too much damage. It's not an easy thing to do to make it to the 5th round with Shevchenko, so the fact that she is here in the first place and now she's in the final round, that's got to give her a lot of confidence. And with that confidence, have the courage to put yourself in harm's way, to go for it and look for the finish that the coach said, because he's right. She is capable of finishing this fight. So is Shevchenko, though. But it's 5 minutes. Shevchenko's way ahead on the scorecards. CARMOUCHE has got to do something risky, something dangerous,
Back to the center they go on the feet. CARMOUCHE's corner asking her not to wait as time runs low. Just 4 minutes left here. Charging in again, she leads with that Superman punch, firing quick shots.
Yeah, the speed, it's beautiful to watch. It really is so fast.
Trying to grab a leg.
Yeah.
CARMOUCHE grabs a hold of the leg.
I mean, she's in deep there. But Shevchenko's naturally the bigger person. You can see that. She's going to be stronger. pushing down on that head. Perfect takedown defense so far. There we go. Now she's going to transition to the side, get her in turtle position. There we go. CARMOUCHE Granby rolls, rightly so.
Operating from full guard is CARMOUCHE. Next Saturday, the UFC 241 prelims get the evening going on ESPN. In the featured bout, rising lightweight prospect and Contender Series alum Devontae Smith battles the resurgent threat Clay Collard, plus Rafael Sunsak, Corey Sandhagen. Fantastic bantamweight scrap. It's the UFC 241 prelims. They come to you at 8 Eastern next Saturday night on ESPN. Under 3 minutes to go now as Shevchenko continues to apply pressure from up top.
There's a little bit of pop in those heel strikes there. You could hear that. Now, here we go. She's kind of squaring, rotating her hips here. That looked like she was going to try and attempt an armbar. You know, listen, you know, there's a lot of submissions from the guard, and, you know, a legitimate black belt can pull them off. You never know. She's got 2 minutes here. Of course, Shevchenko's in the better position. She's on top. But CARMOUCHE, with her style of jiu-jitsu, this is exactly where she wants her opponent.
Liz Carmouche finding mixed martial arts and beginning training during her final tour in Iraq. She was in the U.S. Marine Corps for 5 years, proudly serving the United States. And this her 20th pro fight all these years later. But she is running into what others have in the flyweight division. Valentina Shevchenko, who has just been dominant since the UFC opened that flyweight division.
Yeah. In terms of control for Shevchenko, she's doing it absolutely perfect. I know the crowd want blood and guts and strikes and elbows and big, massive shots. But if you're trying to control an opponent on the ground and not let them get back up, this is exactly what you do. You keep them flat on the back. You have chest-to-chest pressure. You don't give them an inch to move. Then you use the bottom half of your body, whilst your shoulders and your chest pin them down. You use your legs and your feet to combat what they're doing with their legs. So you use your instep and your feet to push and get your legs free. Then you get to side control. Maybe you work them out, and then you look for the strikes, then you look for the elbows, a submission, or generally look to finish the fight.
Final minute here as Valentina Shevchenko putting the finishing touches with more than 7 minutes of top position. 4-1 the advantage in significant strikes. And just an all-out dominant performance over these 25 minutes. Final 30 now. Well, for Liz Carmouche, she opened the door for women fighting in the UFC along with Ronda Rousey. Came 6 years ago, her last crack at a title. Well, she waited patiently for 6 more years, but she ran into one of the best to do it. One of the baddest women on the planet. Valentina Shevchenko goes 25 minutes. And we expect her to keep that flyweight title certainly tonight. And who knows for how long. 5 full rounds for the title. Let's take a look.
Yeah, let's take a look indeed. Some nice low kicks there from Shevchenko. And there's a big left hand. You see the grimace on her face. Nice jab there. Now a good combo here. 1-2. Puts her down. Here she's got the double underhooks. Takes her for a ride. Down you go. Here's a Superman punch and another one. And then a low kick to finish it. Spinning back fist. Didn't quite connect flush. CARMOUCHE still went down.
Well,
a cautious performance, but still dominant nonetheless.
It's still in the hands of the judges, and we will get the official decision when we come back.
CIBC Aventura.
Hi, we're thinking about going to Morocco.
Oh, great choice.
There's so much to see and do here.
Tamil is very cool.
He'll give you a good price. This view hasn't changed for centuries.
Wow.
And if you want a once-in-a-lifetime experience,
it's gonna be hard to top this one.
Plan your perfect trip with an Aventura travel assistant. Aventura, the traveler's travel card.
At Midas, with every oil change, you get a free tire rotation.
Makes you feel like a king. Oh. King for a day. Well, maybe not the whole day.
Oop, hey, whoa.
Get an oil change with tire rotation for just $39.
Just sensational.
This program contains scenes of violence that may be disturbing to some viewers. Discretion is advised.
UFC Fight Night Shevchenko versus CARMOUCHE 2 has been brought to you by P3, the official protein snack of the UFC. As we get set to see who takes the belts, I think we all know the answer to that one. Valentina Shevchenko and Liz CARMOUCHE go the distance. Joe Martinez with the official decision.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, after 5 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards. All 3 judges have it 50-45. Your winner by unanimous decision. And still, UFC flyweight champion of the world, Valentina, the Bullet Shevchenko.
I'm here with your winner, Valentina Shevchenko. That was a very dominant, strategic performance. How does it feel to be down here and defend your belt, your title, here for these people?
Una performance muy dominante, muy tranquila de tu parte. ¿Cómo sentís defender tu cinturón ante tanta gente en Uruguay?
Por primero, Uruguay, hola. Me siento muy feliz estar esta noche con ustedes, compartir. Yo entiendo que todos querían verme haciendo knockout. Yo también lo quería, pero no siempre se puede hacer. Pero Liz está muy fuerte porque tiene una estrategia no común, porque tiene su timing muy rápido. Entonces yo hice todo para asegurar mi victoria, porque golpe contra golpe es normal, es usual, pero la técnica es número 1. Gracias a ustedes, gracias por venir a apoyarme, a apoyar todos sus favoritos peleadores. Los agradezco de todo corazón. Muchas gracias.
English?
It was so long.
Listen, Liz CARMOUCHE is a very, very tough opponent, so you got to respect her skills. What was the game plan coming into this fight tonight?
Liz CARMOUCHE es una rival muy, pero muy dura. ¿Cuál era tu estrategia de cara a esta pelea?
First of all, my strategy was to use all my skills to defend her, because like I said previous answer, she has very not uncommon technique, style and timing. That's why I did everything to assure my victory inside the cage, for not letting any casualty happen inside.
Ella tiene un estilo muy raro, muy extraño, trabaja muy bien el timing. Yo hice todo lo necesario para conseguir la victoria y bueno, por suerte lo conseguí.
That is 2 title defenses in 2 months now. You've been very, very busy, very active. There's a lot of people calling you out. A lot of people want what you have. There's possibly a rematch with Amanda Nunes. What do you want next?
2 defensas titulares en 2 meses. Hay muchísima gente que quiere pelear por tu cinturón, que quiere tu cinturón. También está la posibilidad de Amanda Nunes, pero lo importante es qué es lo que vos querés.
I want everyone here inside the octagon. Todo quiero aquí pelear dentro del octágono. No me importa quién será, Amanda Nunes, cualquier otra peleadora de mi categoría. Los voy a defender aquí.
Whatever he wants to fight Amanda Nunes or whatever wants his title.
Well, I can't wait to see you fight again. It was an honor to call you fights. Congratulations, Valentina, the Bullet Shevchenko.